Hello, welcome to the Mediocre Takes podcast, the podcast where we share our mediocre takes on the shows and movies we watch. I'm Marco, and here's my co-host Mel. How are you doing, Mel?
So you know how my power went out yesterday
Yeah,
and it was 16-degree weather outside. You know how there's still syrup in my keyboard when I
yeah.
when I first went to use this afternoon, I pressed down the space bar and I just hear like a crackling noise because it became so cold in my room that whatever syrup is left in there like froze. So that
Oh
was
my
kind of slay.
god.
I went out into the living room this morning and I could see my breath. Like it was fucking cold in my house.
Yeah, they let us leave work early because it was snowing, and I was like, when I went back home, it wasn't snowing anymore, but the next day, it was like frozen all over the yard and everything. I'm kind of surprised our power hasn't gone out yet, so I'm hoping it doesn't.
Well, there's still time.
Hopefully not. Anyways, today we're talking about a little short web series called Satina, and this is about a father who has a daughter with this demon lady. Anyways, Mal, go ahead with the plot summary.
Forgetting about Father's Day, Dave has to take his daughter to work. His daughter, being half demon, causes trouble, but she practices some of her little necromancy and everything turns out great in the end. Mostly. One guy dies, but he probably deserved it.
I love how much of a demon Satina is. The father was really hard to watch. He was really annoying and obnoxious, and I hated him so much. I really liked the animation of this episode. Why did they make the mother look like that? Like, it's kind of weird. I think it was the fact that she
I
had no clothes on.
Okay, it was that, and it was the fact that they obviously wanted us to notice her big mommy milkers.
Mommy milkers. Anyways,
Can we address that? Like they really wanted us to see them.
yeah, I know. They're like right there. Like they were kind of wobbling. I don't know. It was
There was some
strange.
they made sure to add some jiggle animation and they jutted out sort of in a weird way. I don't know. It sort of looked like ovals.
You guys, yeah, you guys, those are not how boobs work. I'm not an expert, but I have watched a couple not breast removal, like breast reduction videos. I have watched a couple of those, and I know a little bit. Like,
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. They
I
were like,
didn't
I've
think
seen
I
a
was
few
going with.
videos with boobs in it.
That's gross.
I'm sorry, I assume things.
I'm gonna ignore that, anyways. I feel like Satina's father was a bad father. Oh, I really enjoyed the pilot of this show, Satina Wants a Glass of Water. I actually liked it better than the first episode. Maybe it's because it was more polished, or maybe because we get to see less of that man. Mel, have you seen the pilot yet?
I did, and maybe we should have done that before we did this, but all I have to say is they kind of
Mhm.
retconned Dave for the worst.
Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of see that. I love the twist at the end where Satina says she used necromancy. I will say I did enjoy some of the jokes in this episode. I really enjoyed the beginning of this episode before we were introduced to Satina and her mother. It made me believe that this episode would have been way different. I love that Satina gave the dad a mug that said "A Dad" on it.
I absolutely loved the backgrounds in this show. They were so beautiful. Also, on the topic of Lucia, there is no world in which I will accept that the ruler of hell got with generic white man number 2,987,000,000. That just feels a little wrong to me, I feel like. There are scenes where Satina's blinking isn't synced, like one eye blinks before the other, and then there are scenes where, like, her eyes will go unfocused and they'll go different ways, and something about that is so funny to me. Her airheadedness is just it's so silly. Also, Melvin was definitely doing more than just sleeping, given what was on his computer screen. It was like it was an anime girl with jiggling breasts. He was watching Catgirl something on the clock.
I think that's even worse, cat girls.
It was a cat girl.
Catgirls with the mommy milkers.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay. Put the mic down. Dave using his kid's head to break the glass for the fire extinguisher was arguably the funniest part of this episode. The hell jokes were also pretty funny. I cringed at none of them, so good for the writers on that. And last thing, I do feel like, I mentioned this before, I do feel like Melvin had it coming. I feel like his destiny was to have his soul ripped out from him.
overall, I thought this was a decent first episode. I do believe the next episodes got kind of shorter than the first episode, which I'm kind of disappointed by. I wish they were kind of longer.
One of the people from the Scum House Studios, which is like the creators behind this, said that they planned on releasing like around 12 episodes, and they said that it would be a mix of short and long episodes.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about this episode in total. I feel like Dave was really a letdown in this whole episode, and I bet that he does get better throughout the series, but I don't really like him either way.
I'm kind of scared to see how they make him better, because if they go down the path of making him a better dad because he sees value in his daughter, that would suck.
Why?
Well, because this whole episode, he was nervous because he felt like his daughter was just gonna, like, fuck everything up. Like, he was kind of
Hmm.
he was anticipating that she would ruin, like, his life, basically. And at the end, he was like, "Oh, no, you actually kinda made my life better. So, you know what? Maybe I do like you, daughter of mine."
Yeah, I agree with you. I know there's a certain word for that, but I can't find it in my head. But yeah, I do agree with you that like if he only started liking her after this episode, that would be kind of bad for his character. I also don't like the mom still. Like the way they animated her was strange, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I absolutely love the animation, especially the background art. Kind of a huge anti-fan of bad dads, so it was hard to watch Dave be cringe. Yeah, overall, this was an alright pilot. I'd say that we've watched better ones. I say that this had really solid animation and really solid voice acting. Also, I've just realized all the new episodes we've posted this month have been reviews of pilots or like just short episodes. But that's because we're working on something really labor intensive. So it won't be like this forever, listeners who miss our hour long episodes.
We're really giving them crumbs, aren't we?
For this month, yes. We have things in the works, guys. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? It says here on my calendar, it's bring your recommendations to work day, which is pretty convenient since it's time for the mediocre minutes. This is a tiny little micro moment where me and Marco recommend books, comics, music, games, and more for you all to check out and not be disappointed in. My recommendation is the album Rhinoceros by Calva Louise. I think my favorite songs from this album are I Heard a Cry, I'm Gonna Do Well, and Cruel Girl. Marco, what is your recommendation?
My recommendation is a manga called Whisper Me a Love Song. So this is a manga that I recommended to Mal previously in a video that won't come out until the end of 2024. I'm not going to go into it, but you guys will see that video on our YouTube channel. But Whisper Me a Love Song is basically about this girl who is a lead singer in a band, and it's about her falling in love with one of her, I guess, fans, but not really fans. I don't know, it's kinda iffy in my opinion. They're both teenagers, so, like, it's a small band, basically. It's a high school band, basically. So, I don't feel like it's that weird. However, if they were more famous, then I would, like, kinda be weirded out. But overall, I think this is an okay series. I've only read the first volume so far, and yeah. Anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on Satina episode 1. If you want to send us a voice message on Spotify for podcasters, there'll be a link in the description to do so below. We also have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads, which are @MyTakesPod, and that's everything. So goodbye. We did it.
Slay! Did you like that?